In the United States, there is a specific Medicare benefit that pays nearly 100% of the cost for hospice medications, equipment, home visits from nurses, physicians, chaplains, physical therapists, social workers, volunteers, 24/7 phone support, and really anything that you could need for hospice. But most people don't know it exists. And even when they do know about it, there are so many myths about hospice that make people avoid it entirely or enroll far too late to receive all the benefits that hospice has to offer, including extending your life potentially. The three biggest myths I hear all the time that really stop or delay people from enrolling are: 1, hospice is a place where you go to die. 2, hospice cuts you off from all your doctors. And 3, hospice forces you to stop treatments and tests for all of your conditions. Now, the first myth I busted in my video titled Live Longer with Hospice. I'll put a link in the description below for that video. If you haven't watched that video already, I highly recommend watching it. In it, I go through some of the research that shows that you can actually live longer if you elect hospice than if you continue all those aggressive curative treatments. So in this video, I'm going to tackle myths number 2 and 3. Hospice does not cut you off from all your doctors, and hospice does not force you to stop all your treatments and tests. I'll go through what doctors you can and cannot continue to see and what treatments and tests you can and cannot continue. In addition to working with thousands of people who have transitioned into hospice, for this video, I also read through pages and pages of dense federal documents about the hospice benefit that will leave you perhaps better informed than some hospital staff. So buckle up for some insider knowledge that will help you and your loved ones navigate the Medicare hospice benefit. So many people say that they watch my videos but forget to subscribe. One of the simplest ways to support this channel, the free way to support it really, is to click the subscribe button. In a funny way, when you subscribe to this channel, you actually become a part of the Chaplain Connect community. Your subscription helps grow this channel, which will help more and more people access chaplaincy support. So thank you for becoming a part of our community and helping others access the information and support they need the most. Okay, so myth number 1, I tackled in the video linked in the description below and here. So let's jump straight into myth number 2. I will lose all my doctors if I enroll in hospice. So many people think that they will be cut off from their doctors completely when they move to hospice. But here's the truth. Not only will you not lose your doctors, but your attending doctor actually has to be a part of the documents that ultimately enroll you into hospice. This attending doctor has to sign all of the documents along with the hospice medical director, indicating that in their opinion, you have about 6 months or less to live. Now, I've said this before in other videos, doctors will admit that they don't have a crystal ball and can't predict your death that accurately. But this is what is needed to qualify for the Medicare hospice benefit. Now, after 90 days of being on hospice, your attending doctor must sign again that you have about 6 months or less to live. Your attending doctor is defined as any medical or osteopathic doctor, any nurse practitioner or physician assistant who has had a significant role in treating your terminal illness. So, for example, if you have an oncologist for 3 years or more, your oncologist could be the attending doctor who signs you onto hospice if that's who you choose. You have the right to choose your attending doctor, but they must agree to fulfill this role to be the attending doctor on record. Some doctors have to decline the role because they just don't have the time to commit to it and to give as much as they would like to give to it. Because this attending doctor signs hospice enrollment paperwork, you as the patient can consult your attending doctor at any time once you're on hospice. You can continue even to have appointments with your attending doctor if possible. Your attending doctor can order tests and prescribe medications so long as they are consistent with your hospice plan of care. Now, if you have known your attending doctor and have been going to the office regularly for visits for years, you really will likely not see this doctor as much as you used to before you enrolled in hospice. You may not be up for in-person appointments, or perhaps you may not need to consult your attending doctor because the hospice is doing such a good job already. So it may still really feel like a significant loss to not see your doctor as often as you used to. But hospice certainly does not cut you off from your doctor. You really may consult your attending doctor at any time. And you can even change your attending doctor at any time as well in writing. Now, some people have pre-existing illnesses that are really not related to their terminal illness at all, and they need to see specialists to manage those illnesses. Although hospice is very good at treating these conditions and can really continue good routine care, you have the right to continue to consult any doctors that are treating illnesses that are not related to your terminal illness. So this leads me to myth number 3. One of the biggest myths I've heard about hospice is that hospice is where you give up and you are forced to give up on treatments for all your conditions. But this is just not the case. You still see your doctors and receive treatment for conditions that are not related to your terminal illness, so long as they go along with the hospice plan of care. So for example, if you have a seizure disorder and you enroll in hospice for metastatic end-stage lung cancer, you can continue to see your neurologist, and your neurologist can continue to prescribe different anticonvulsants, particularly if your neurologist is really needed to monitor any medication changes. Or you can see other doctors if you, for example, develop an illness while you're on hospice. Imagine you enroll in hospice because you have advanced dementia. And one of the things that really helps you in your memory is your eyesight, but then you develop glaucoma. Hospice might have you consult with an ophthalmologist to help treat your glaucoma while you're on hospice. Now, blood transfusions, dialysis, and IV nutrition, otherwise known as TPN, are a bit different. Even if you are receiving blood transfusions or dialysis for an unrelated illness, many hospices will refuse to provide these treatments because they usually require transportation, which can cause a lot of discomfort. If you are receiving TPN for an unrelated illness, hospice might refuse to provide this treatment as well because it can increase suffering. I sometimes tell patients that transportation in the very end stages of hospice is like going off-roading when you have multiple broken bones. And having TPN while on hospice, particularly at the end of life, is like eating a big steak dinner while you have the stomach flu. Generally, really good hospices do not refuse these treatments unless they know that they will cause more harm than good. Some treatments like IV fluids, IV antibiotics, and stents are in a bit more of a gray zone. Sometimes hospices will allow these treatments if they provide more comfort, and sometimes they will discontinue them because they worry that they will contribute to more suffering. In addition, while Medicare does not prohibit hospices from placing an IV, most hospices will not place or replace an IV. Some hospices allow patients to arrive with an IV, but if it falls out, they will not replace it. This is again in part because placing IVs can be very painful, and the focus and intent of hospice is to provide comfort at end of life, not aggressive curative treatment. The same is true for certain tests. Medicare does not prohibit any testing for unrelated illnesses, but sometimes hospices will refuse these tests because they will cause more suffering or lead to an escalation of care that the hospice cannot support. So for example, finger sticks to check for blood sugar, or a urine test to check for UTI, or a blood test for medication toxicity can be continued if they do not cause more suffering. But typically, hospices refuse to allow things like CT scans, MRIs, or those really broad blood tests. Now, I know this video was really dense and there was a lot of information in it. You can find a transcript of this and other videos on our website at mychaplainconnect.com. I hope this video has helped debunk these two common myths about hospice for you. Yes, you can still consult your doctor, and yes, you can still have treatments and tests for unrelated illnesses. Hospice is not about giving up. People can live full, active lives on hospice, especially when they enroll early and have months rather than days on hospice. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. And as always, don't hesitate to reach out to your local hospital chaplain, or you can reach out to us at mychaplainconnect.com. Make sure to check out all of our videos on hospice in our hospice playlist, and I'll see you on the next video.